All right, Nick, let's talk about the Colorado Buffs. As we always seem to say when we're covering the Buffs, they have been in the news recently, for better or for worse. They always seem to be in the news in some shape or fashion. And head coach Deion Sanders kind of came out recently and said what he thinks about if you put them in the news for the worse. I'm Andrew, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, as I alluded to, Coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, came out and he recently went after some, news establishments, reporters in general, of who covered Colorado in a bad light and kind of gave his thoughts on what would happen going forward. Let's get into the article and we can talk more about it on the other side. This is from Outkick.Com. It says, Colorado Buffaloes head coach Deion Sanders is not a fan of CBS. During a press conference on Friday, Sanders went through the room of reporters when a local sports editor, Eric Christensen from CBS Colorado, got on the mic to ask the question. Sanders immediately looked annoyed, waving his arms, interrupting, saying, CBS, I'm not doing nothing with CBS, Sanders said. Next question. It ain't got nothing to do with you. It's above that. It's nothing to do with you. I got love for you. I appreciate and respect you, but it ain't got nothing to do with you. They know what they did. The reporter replied they had nothing to do with the national CBS crew, that he's local to Denver, Colorado, but Sanders did not care. He says, you are who you are. CBS is CBS. Sanders says, it ain't got nothing to do with you. I respect you. That's why I told you that. I'm looking in the eyes as a man. I respect you. I got love for you, but what they did was foul. Nick, I think this is kind of, in a way, a refreshing breath of fresh air for the football landscape, because there's a lot of news that's going out lately. A lot of people can kind of just feel like they can write whatever they want and there be no repercussions. And slowly but surely, guys like Coach Prime are coming out and showing us that, hey, there is repercussions. Things do happen when you do write stories like this. I'm curious what your thoughts on this are. But before we get to you, Nick, Buffs fans, in the comment section below, this is a little bit of a more interesting question, not the usual one. We're talking news media outlets. We're talking about people, in this case, who cover the Buffs bad. Who do you think covers them well? Who do you think are some of your favorite outlets to get news in the media about the Colorado Buffs? Let us know in the comment section below. Of course, probably us, but is there some other ones out there? Let us know in the comment section below. But Nick, what are your thoughts on how Deion Sanders reacted to this reporter?
So I'm going to cover first the strategical side, the tactical move of this, and then we'll get into my specific thoughts on what he said. So it's important to understand that the media, just the way it is in society today, is at the lowest level of trust that it's been, I think, on record. And this is according not just to my personal opinion, Gallup polling, which tracks these things, year by year, going back decades, say trust in media is at an all-time low, right? And there's proof positive, the fact that you people right now watching this video, whether there's 4 viewers right now, whether there's 40, whether there's 100 or 1,000, or however many views we get, that you're watching 2 guys talk about the Colorado Buffs on YouTube instead of ESPN or CBS Sports or whatever. It's because there's clearly a problem with the media. People don't like the media, right? People are very upset with media coverage for a number of reasons, and so they're looking for alternative sources. That's why channels like this even exist, even have a chance to exist. So Deion Sanders, Coach Prime here, is very smartly aligning himself against a hated entity, right? If everyone hates the media, you don't want to be on the media side, right? That's not a good strategic move. And you look at players, certainly players, recruits, transfers, right? Assistant coaches, they don't like the media either, because 9 times out of 10, it's negative articles. It's a lot of disappointing things. Even when there's positive puff pieces, and sometimes there are, it usually only is there for a little bit. And then the moment you have a bad game, they're quick to destroy you. So again, as a former player myself playing college football, the media was never your friend. Best case scenario, they were like, okay, you're not terrible to me today, but most of the time it's a lot of bad. And again, aligning yourself, Coach Prime is on the opposite side of the media is smart. Players don't like the media. They don't like certainly legacy media, sites like CBS, for example, stations like CBS. They see Coach Prime in Colorado on the other side of that. That will make Colorado and Coach Prime much more appealing for them as a target. And then there's the energy, there's the buzz, there's the attention. Again, Colorado last year, we all know it. They went 4-8. But once again, we are talking about them. They are in the news. They are generating buzz. Coach Prime is gathering energy and excitement, whether it's positive or negative. It's all energy. We're all talking about it. And once again, that will help when it comes to recruiting assistants, recruiting prospects, and getting transfers in the door. Bringing more energy is incredibly important. That's what Coach Prime is continuing to do here. So again, from a tactical, strategical side, this was a really smart move. Now, my personal opinion of this is that Coach Prime is 100% correct. And like you kind of alluded to, so much things in media these days, and it's really frustrating, is that these guys, these reporters, these sites, these stations, they think they can just say whatever they want and there's no repercussions, right? They'll say terrible things, right? They'll say awful. They'll say, looking at Coach Prime, I think they ranked him the second worst coach in the Big 12, which it's an opinion, but whatever. And then you sit there, they did I think there was a clip, like a tweet of Colorado from spring ball earlier this year, maybe from training camp. And CBS decided to make it like a funny meme, like a joke, like an insult to Colorado. And it's like, look, you can't do that as an organization and then get away with it. You're not allowed to essentially be a jerk as a media outlet and then have the people you were a jerk to just sit there and say, well, you're the media, I got to treat you nice. No, of course not. Like, there's going to be push pull, and on the media side, you can't get upset when there's some pushback when you were jerks, right? That's not how this works. And I really love Coach Prime coming out and being vocal with it. Some other coaches in the past, you look at like Nick Saban, who would push back every once in a while. Bill Belichick famously hated the media. Those guys did it too. Those guys, they did it a little bit different strategically. They waited, I think, until they started winning titles. Coach Prime, because he is who he is, all-time great athlete, not just a football player, but American athlete, icon in the sports world. He has that power as well. So I really appreciate he using it the same way Saban did, the same way Belichick did, because I really think, just my personal opinion here, these legacy old school media establishment outlets, they just put whatever they want out there. They post, they write whatever they want. They say all these terrible things, and then they get shocked when someone doesn't like it. That's got to stop, and credit to Coach Prime for pushing back against him.
Yeah, Nick, and I agree with everything you're saying. And, I know you'll probably agree with what I'm saying here as well. Is we go through a lot of news articles lately. We do a lot of research for the channel to find the best stories to bring to the viewers. And it is not the same. The journalistic integrity that there's out there, it has really gone downhill, I'd say, in the last 10 years or so. It really isn't. And I think this is, like you said, this is Deion Sanders doing something about it. I think that there needs to we're on the precipice of a media reset, probably. We're seeing it at the lowest point, like you said. There's going to be a time where there's only nowhere to go but up or to turn off the lights eventually. I think that we're seeing these coaches finally push back. We're seeing people finally stand up saying, hey, just because, decade ago we had an agreement, civility, you treat us with respect, we treat you with respect, we answer questions, we do things together. It's not that way anymore. It has really been turned on its head. It is not like it used to be a decade or two ago. And I think the media has gone down a lot lately. So I think Coach Prime coming out here doing this is hopefully not only going to show his players, his recruits, everybody what side he's on and what to believe in, but I hope it shows the media to, hey, somebody's finally pushing back. Maybe we should change a little bit. I think it would be for the best for everybody if that happens.